It's a beautiful Sunday. Ooh. I have been coming into alignment with the information that I already knew before I got here, but life told me that I was wrong. And I'm quite sure I'm not the only one since life is a playground and I'm ready to play. Excuse me. So, how many of you understand that life chose you? Like, life chose you. Like, life chose you. Like, like life chose you. Out of all the seeds, life chose you. Life chose you. Life chose you to be the gift and offer your presence to your community, to your family, to you. Life chose you. Like dead ass. Life chose you. Like life chose you. Life chose you to see what you see through your eye because you have the power to make the changes. And based on how you view it, that's the change that's going to happen. Or either it's going to stay the same. I think the fucked up part about it is people can just choose to observe and do nothing. Say nothing. Be okay with it. But you know, history doesn't have to repeat itself. And the reason it repeats itself is because of those choices. To just sit, observe, judge, or join the bandwagon. What was that, Tuesday? Yeah, last Tuesday, I walked into the office. I found out that our organization is employed employed through DEI, which for us as a whole. And then it took me back. Oh, then I was like, oh shit, what does that mean? I was like, okay, what does that mean? What is that? I'm asking myself internally, what does that mean for me? How should I handle this information? Initially, I was just like, this is some fucked up shit. This is just ludicrous. But then I started thinking, okay, smoke and mirrors. Last year, I talked to my director and some other people, actually some other organizations, and my thought was, how we have agencies that are employed by the government but saying that they're doing the exact opposite thing that what the government is doing at the time. Like, how is this agency who's directly funded by the government for this cause that goes against what the government is standing for in this time? Like, that came to my mind. And then this happens, and it just makes me think, okay, all these people that are being placed in office right now, what are they doing? And how is it affecting us as a whole? This is about power, right? So to tell a bunch of people that all of a sudden you may not have a place of employment anymore. What does that instill? That's fear. Because now, okay, we're about to go back into survival mode. So how do I lead myself? Then it made me think about like the 60s, the 70s, sending kids to, oh, it's 11/11. Oh shit. sending kids to the schools to integrate them into a school that has been separate for years. Where do all those people go that had that separation mindset? You think um their lack or their anger towards this group just disappears? No. 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 Like their hatred, a lot of parents kick their kids out when they start liking blacks or browns, and vice versa. A lot of blacks kick their kids out when they start liking whites or browns. So when we start mingling and commingling and making more, this is segregation at its finest. It's just done in a way where we're having to lose focus and think about race. This is about class and status. One of my favorite movies, The Count of Monte Cristo. Ferdinand or Ferdinando, he was so jealous of his friend Edmund. And Edmund, oh my God, he was such a good, kind-hearted person that will give his last to them. But he didn't understand that those same gifts that he had, people wanted. And he didn't understand why, because he admired them. He looked up to them. But that goes to show sometimes we look up to people that doesn't deserve our admiration. We are totally blinded by their gifts. We miss who they are. When people show you who they are, believe them. Listen to their words. And when they're speaking to you, if it sounds like a hidden agenda, there is. There is. If it sounds like they're leading a double life, like they're saying one thing to one party and another thing to another, to you, believe them. Believe that instinct, because we all have a guiding system within us. We just don't pay attention to it sometimes because we're so busy, so shined by admiration or inspiration. Just because someone displays something, it doesn't mean their heart is like yours, like you guys are pushing for the same cause. You may think that you have a shared vision, but your vision has been integrated into theirs, not included. See, most people think that integration and inclusion is the same. It's not. It's not the same. That's a trick of words. And a lot of folks still have it confused. It's not the same. So we need to build our own agency. Start a new government. Because we're rehearsing the same colonial, separate government for years and years and years. And they're doing the same thing. Kill, steal, and destroy. And then blame you for it. They will manipulate you with words. Pay attention. Pay attention. This is a playground. Play. Play with a smile. Keep record. Pattern recognition is important. It's important. Because if you don't recognize the patterns, you won't recognize manipulation. If you can't recognize manipulation, you'll be sucked down the same drain pipe every time. Trying to figure out, why is this happening to me? Well, technically, your body told you. You just didn't listen. The people around you showed you, and you wasn't paying attention. So how are you paying attention? Like Ferdinand told Edmund when Edmund said, "Why are you doing this to me?" He said, "Because you're a clerk's son, and I'm not supposed to want to be you." He was so angry that he wanted to be like him. Comparison. Anybody that's around you that's constantly comparing, they're a problem. If they're always comparing, there's always a right, who's wrong. Everybody's right. Because the vibration that you're on, you're right. There is no right or wrong here. It just is. And if you're trying to prove who's right or wrong, then that's a fucking problem. For real. Like life chose you. How are you using that choice to make a difference? To really truly make a difference? Because if history is repeating itself, does our skin really matter? Like, does it really matter? Does it matter whether you have the newest, latest things? Nah, it doesn't. It doesn't. I was taking notes while I was meditating. I'm just like, oh, one more thing. When challenges come, I had to write this down. I love me. Like, one, how are you showing gratitude? How are you showing gratitude? I know times may seem like really iffy. This is a lot. And a lot of things that I was talking about last year, like getting on planes when you don't know the mentality of the person who's flying the plane. You don't know if they have biases that are causing them to have like some conflicting behavior. See, the thing is, most of us, we don't know how to lead ourselves, let alone lead an organization or lead anything else. Lead a family. So how do we have, yeah. And all these challenges that are coming up, like, how are you? How are you fighting? I had to ask myself, like, when these challenges are coming up in my life, like, how am I fighting? How am I fighting within myself to ensure that my heart doesn't harden? Like the calcification that it takes to keep a group of people so angry where they will kill, steal, and destroy everything good about them. Like, if you really pay attention, back in the day, they said that blacks couldn't read. They said they couldn't write. They said they was stupid. Said browns were the same way. Like the Holocaust. Everything that a group saw good in one group, they took it and said something bad against it to someone else. That means someone was watching what they could do and went and said, well, you know they can't do such and such and such. Come on, we've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it happen. I've seen someone be angry about something and they take it and they go into Lulu land and they regurgitate it in a way, and it's like, wait a minute. That's not what they said. But sometimes people hear what they want to hear so they can see the worst in other people. How many of us will call that person out that's talking shit about a whole group of people that they don't even know about? We have so many critics, so many negative people that sometimes it's just a matter of calling them out so they can see, like, this ain't right. Like, you know what? That is right. Some people don't care, so they will continue to do it. But let not your heart be hardened by it. Like, protect your heart. Dead ass. Protect your heart, your mind. So therefore, you can control your emotions while all this is going on. And you can be able to still walk in spaces and say what you need to say without being angry. Or, because anger is healthy, it's an emotion. But just say it tactfully. I know I can be abrasive. When I get to that point where I am speaking my truth, I can be abrasive because I no longer care about your feelings. And I try not to get angry. And if I am, it's best if I'm not around you. It's best if I sit this one out. I hop in my trusty bed and I think about it before I'm able to regurgitate it. Because what I want to come out is love from a place of light that has gone to the dark areas and helped me alchemize what I'm experiencing in that moment. And I know I'm not the only one. I know there's a collective here that's experiencing the same thing because I know that I'm not alone. I feel it. I feel that I have thousands of people behind me, on side of me, and already have gone in front of me, letting me know that all is well, Tay Tay. All is well, E. You got this. You're not alone. That's why before I enter a space, and I know that I have people on here that they're my soul tribe. Before I enter a space, on the way to the space, I will start to feel emotions. And I'm not even sure where it's coming from. It's called clear empathy. I did not know that existed. But I know for a fact that I'm experiencing that when I'm headed somewhere. Or before someone comes over, it's almost like I'm excited about them coming. All of a sudden I have like this energy. I'm just like, oh shit, what am I feeling? Being able to feel the emotions of a space before you even get there. I thought I was just empathetic, but it's beyond that. So, how are you? How are you being seen since life chose you? Like, don't be afraid to be seen because your life is a gift. Use it. Just like if someone buys you a video game or any type of material gift, this gift is so much better than any material gains you can ever receive. How are you using your gift? Because life chose you. Life was like, you know what? This one right here, this star, this light, I'm a star. This light right here, this right here, I'm going to place some boop right there so they can learn what they need to learn and be. Let's see how they show up. It's a playground, so you have to decide on how you're going to show up. You have to decide on whether you're going to use the old way how you had the things you had to do growing up, or whether you're going to do something different to become something greater, better. How are you going to do it? Don't give your power to anyone else. And allow neglect, abandonment, all the things that you experience during your hard time to be your ally. And when you do that, people are like, oh, you just like I am. I am. I really am. It might piss them off. I know, because it does when I do it. But that's not a you problem. Because when you know who you can be, even if that's not who you are right now, there's nothing anybody can say about you. Nothing. Nothing. You heard that? There's nothing anybody can say about you, because you already know. Yeah, I can do that. You don't have to disagree with anybody. You don't have to agree with anybody. It's up to you. Just, yeah. Even though, yes, agreement. But it is what it is. But man, keep sending love and light to yourself. And to those that's doing this work and standing up for things that are greater, I commend you. You're not alone. And don't forget, life chose you. So don't be afraid to be seen. Don't hide who you are. Don't be afraid to be seen. I'm sending you so much love and light and strength. Because I know I said it last year before Election Day. Towers have to fall before people recognize their doing and their allowing in some downfalls. And that's what's happening. And no one's excluded. Everyone is feeling it. And I know it's going to get worse before it gets better. It will get better. It will get better. I think that's all I have to say. Don't forget to celebrate yourself. I wrote that down. Don't forget to celebrate yourself. How are you celebrating your gifts since life chose you? So how are you daily doing something to celebrate you? Because your gift is a precious commodity. Don't forget that. Your gift, whatever gift you have, life chose you for a reason. Your gift is precious, so please celebrate yourself. Okay, I'm out. Much love.